And we are here yet again on this journey of Tokusatsu, Half Hour Henshin, episode 22. As always, I'm Sleepy Witch. I'm joined by.
DJ Azure, the 2.5D hero topic tuber.
Oh man! And in addition to these two episodes this week, we got a bunch of comic stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I know, right? Like it's like you're the one to introduce me to the Radiant Massive verse. I should probably say
The
at this point.
Massiverse, yeah. I mean, look, Radiant Black is still really good. Those last issues have been very peak.
The worst part is that I'm following. I'm like because I started off with the trades. I'm only following the trades, so I can't even like actually keep up with it. So I have to wait like what is it like half a year for like each of my for my updates on Radiant Black now.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We should do that. We'll put that on the back burner. We should do like reviews of Radiant Blocks like by trade.
Oh yes.
Anyway, going past that because like we said, we got a lot to talk about. We'll start with Geats, episode 20. Again,
Yeah.
loving the current formula of the DGP as a show.
What's really clever about this is how they have like subtle letterboxing for when it's showing like what the spectators are seeing, and then like it actually expands the frame to fill up the screen when it actually goes into what is actually happening. It's really clever. I love it. Like
It's
to really separate the show world from the real world essentially.
it's also really good. I saw people talking about how when it's in the quote unquote show, they're using
Mhm.
the same like typeface as Netflix uses for some of their subs, and that's also it's like peak. It's those extra little touches that have been making the show great. Uh love the little animations they're doing, and bro, this this new director, he's hamming it up so much.
Yeah.
I I love him, especially because his actor is so good. The fact that he goes from being like completely ham to like being deadpan serious when it's like we have found Yamato.
Yes. Yeah. It was.
He's
Yeah. Just
insane.
the.
He's insane.
Mhm.
And then I've seen him. You've talked about this being Gaim too. I've seen him compared to DJ Sagara a lot, and I get it. DJ Sagara was also going ham, but
Yeah.
it's bombs. They're fruit. Tycoon's sister has one, which honestly was a very funny sequence where they had it like horror movie like. She first shows up and she's got a knife.
Yeah. It's like
I can't do
I
this, and
can't.
it's like, bro, did you stab someone?
Yeah. And then the way that she's just like just whacking it is the funniest thing too.
I love that she's whacking it, and then it like zooms out, and like the apartment is a mess. Trying to cut this
Yeah.
fruit has destroyed her apartment.
Oh man, I love it so much. Also, like it's actually pretty cool that Powered Builder is excuse me, Powered Builder is like the new is definitely like Geetz's like default right now. Even
Yeah,
though he does have Magnum.
yeah, or at least he got Magnum this episode.
Yeah.
We got to see the Dramatos. I saw very funny the Dramato who can now like write text. I saw someone. It's like this Dramato is being trained to shitpost.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Oh man. And not only that, and then we actually see Kayla's sister like tied up with the red and blue wires, and you're like, oh man, we have to deal with this kind of story now.
nope. It's a bomb. They're going through. I'm gonna be honest. I really like as nameless baddies. I really like the Dramato because they just decided to make them different themed every time. Like
Yeah.
it's so goofy, but I'm so into it.
Yeah, like from what I think, from what I remember, I think even Sentai does that a lot actually, where the like depending on what the monster of the week is, or actually no, that might have just been Zenkaiger and well now Dawn Brothers, where they basically like theme them every week.
Yeah, but I really like them as like the little baddies. Uh,
Mhm.
they've been very cool.
Yeah,
Some
and then we see Neon's parents. Oh man, what a scene!
Neon's
It's like,
parents in the. I'm glad we finally got back to the whole thing with him being a sponsor for the DGP.
yeah,
That was intense. Them fighting over the fact that her mom, her mom is still basically babying Neon.
hmm
And it also
and
just
then and
feels
yeah,
bad. Sorry to hear her be like, she's my friend. It's like, who gives a shit? Run away now.
I know. Oh my god, that is terrible.
And then we get
And then
some
we get a new
Lopo.
sponsor.
Oh yeah,
What?
no, that's right. We don't get them till afterwards. The new sponsor. I was wondering who she was gonna be, like because we saw her in the preview. Her
Mhm.
her outfit's really cool, and I love how she just kidnaps Buffa.
Yeah, yeah. Just kidnaps Buffa. Says that I want the Jamato. I'm on the side of Jamato. I'm like, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, and just straight up demands the core back.
Yep. But also, I mean that. Yeah. I mean, this show again is very meta with like the sponsors taking what they need from the show,
Mm-hmm.
even from both sides. I also really like that like she's just you can tell she's just in this to cause as much trouble as she can because she's even like oh didn't you want the power to destroy all writers, then you should be trying to make use of me as much as you can, doing
Yeah,
whatever it takes to win is your thing, right? Shouldn't you
yeah.
be trying to exploit me? That's such a good line.
Mm-hmm.
She is
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Yeah, just Agent of Chaos. We love that kind of stuff.
we
We
do
love
we
Agents
do
of
we
Chaos.
do we do love a what's it called, a girl boss gate, a gaslight gatekeep girl boss.
Yeah. Also, like the fact that that Buffa is now like transforming like a free will with the Jamato, but is an absolute pain. Like how painful his transformation looked when he was trying to do his super cool pose.
Yep.
Like,
But also again, real shout out to the actor. They've been doing great on this season. Uh
mm-hmm.
and he's really selling it. But also like him showing up was such a good scene. Like the truck explodes, there's smoke everywhere, and out of the smoke and fire, he just like walks out. There was some really good camera work, so he's like really blurry at the beginning and you see him like come into focus as he walks in. Such a nice shot. Uh,
Yeah,
Also,
it's
you
a
can
really
see how strong he's gotten.
yep.
Also,
Also,
going back to a thing I told you before, where originally when he was transforming with the thing, his like eyes were like turned off, and now he's got
mhm.
like one eye that's like bright and one eye that's like cracked and won't glow.
I actually had to go check I had to check a previous episode. Like, wait, no, there was no way he had two different eye colors, and I'm like, oh, what the?
No, this is new, which I
Yeah,
guess signifies he's turning, and it's like
yeah, and
gotta
it's
love
cracked.
those. Yep, gotta love those aesthetic flourishes.
Hmm. And then
That is what
Kayla
I'm
just
all about.
yep. And then Kayla gets zombie and actually is kind of the one to save the day.
Yep, I really liked. We got a little bit. We got the Lopo backstory, which is
Hmm.
sad, but also like we're seeing Kayla definitely be more resolute. Like the moment the dude locked himself up, he immediately went and took Zombie. Was like,
Hmm.
don't worry about it. He got to do a big like hero finish, and then we cut back to the fight. The funniest thing to me is that okay, so they have the fight uh with the Jamato. They're going off. They go and save his sister like seconds before sunset, right? And then
Hmm.
it comes back to the Geets and Buffa fight, implying the Geets and Buffa have been fighting for like 45 minutes.
Well, at the same time, it was happening during sunset, and sunset happens fast. Like magic hour is like literally done in 30 minutes.
No, but that's what I'm saying because I think because they show a timer and at the
Mhm.
beginning when all of them are together of that, it's like
Mhm.
40 minutes to go, and they save her right as that happens. Which means Buffa and Geets are just out there fighting for 40 minutes.
Which wouldn't surprise me. Yeah,
Yeah.
and after that, we also get some like inner um interconflict between the sponsors.
Yes, but
Like,
right before that,
ooh.
that scene of Geets about to shoot Buffa like in the head, and he turns his head like smacks the bullet with the horn.
Mhm.
Mm, chef's kiss. There was a lot of
Yeah,
really good scenes, but yes,
yeah. Oh man,
the
just so much stuff is
the
happening
the
now.
sponsor stuff was really cool, especially because Jean pulls out like a gun, and it's like this audience room is for writer supporters only. Jamato sponsors should get lost, and she's like, "Sorry, but I've got a writer to root for now."
Yeah, and after that, the fact that his and then me joking around, like saying, "Oh, hey, look at that gun. That's probably gonna be on P Bandai."
Oh, I mean, yeah, yeah. But also, like,
Uh,
the thing that I found really interesting is after she points at Buffa, the expression on Gene's face for that last little bit is like he's smiling. So
mhm,
he is very excited about this proposition. We save Keiwa's sister. We get a very cute line about her being peckish.
mhm.
Uh, and then we get
The producer who's weird.
yep,
Yeah,
the
like
producer who's weird, the Buffa, the belt shorting out,
mhm.
and yeah,
And then we get the surprise ending, which everyone kind of figured because there was no way they were going to make the disaster one of the main characters.
I was kind of hoping they would do it, but at the
Mhm.
same time, I don't know. Here's the thing: a part of me watching Toku shows has become a little too conspiratorial when it comes to watching them, and so now I'm thinking about like they show her with the disaster card, with the disaster mission, and then they kind of do that, but that's all we really see. And then the preview is not like they accuse her of being the disaster, and you just say, "Please, I want to save my family." There's no confirmation, and she was like in a big building. So if I thought for a second was like, what if Neon is the disaster and she just like found the card?
That I mean, I would say that makes
But
sense.
at the same
Like
time, I know I'm just being conspiratorial.
yeah, but at the same time, like they showed that she was the one that threw the fruit, which is like the mission. So it's like it's basically just nothing but like all fingers pointed at Lobo.
Exactly, which makes me not want to believe it because again, they don't show her throwing the fruit. They just show her reading the card, her looking up, and then you getting like the fruit, like just like the preview of like the fruit falling by their feet and stuff. So
Yeah,
technically, that could be her being like looking at the disaster mission, realizing there was only one other person who wasn't, those two, and
true.
being like, "Oh, it's Neon." But we don't know. Last rule for this one is the disasters must complete their secret objectives without fail. That makes sense if they get the like overpowered ability
Mhm.
of winning if they're just the last two. Also, they did technically say Among Us this episode, so
Yes, they did.
Among Us confirmed.
Among Us.
Yep, went a little over, but now on to comics this week.
Oh wait, no, we haven't gotten to Don Brothers.
We usually do like something in the middle. I was gonna
Okay,
do
yeah,
this in
yeah.
the middle
Okay,
and
so
end with Don Brothers.
yeah. So moving from Kamen Rider, moving from Kamen Rider Geats, we're gonna go back a little bit to Kamen Rider 01 because Kamen Rider 01's issue 2 came out. What
Last
was this?
Wednesday.
Yeah, no, I think it was the Wednesday before.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Wednesday
yeah,
before.
yeah, 2 weeks ago. Like I didn't read it because I got lazy.
And I only read it because he reminded me. Which shows,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, but I mean, like, I think that kind of that kind of is a bit of an indictment on that. I'm not enjoying it as much as I was hoping I would.
I'm
Like,
really not feeling it. I've told you before, the characters really feel like cardboard cutouts. I'm not getting a lot from them. It feels like the story that we're getting is going like really rough. We're just going from A to B to C, and like getting there is not
yeah,
that interesting.
I think if anything, I think what I was really hoping was that we got a timeline as to when this was happening, because obviously there's like different arcs. So since we have not seen the Zaya president at all, it's safe to assume that this happens during like the first half of the series. But I'm like, this dude just feels like an endgame boss, and I'm like, this is like summer movie, no, not a summer movie, winter movie like timing, and I'm like, this is not the best.
Yeah, and again, it's just I don't know. There's something about it where I'm just like, the dialogue feels a little like not realistic. one of the big strengths I think that Kamen Rider and Sentai is that they really put their characters first, and even if they're over the top, you always really get like a really good feeling of who these characters are. And this, as being my first like exposure to Zero One as a series, I don't really feel anything. Like I've been told that the main guy's a comedian, but he doesn't feel like a comedic or chill guy. He just, he just feels like a dude.
Yeah, like he doesn't come off as like, the I don't know how to be a CEO, like, which is a big part of it. It's like, he doesn't know how to lead a company, which is what leads to a lot of conflict. Like the only like hints you get at that is how Fua talks to him. And honestly, Fua and Yaiba are kind of like the only characters that are written like like semi accurately, because of the fact that they're overly serious,
Yeah, and you
and
and
which
you
is which
talked
is what
about
works for
that,
them.
about the fact that Fua's delivery is or what is the human girl's name?
Izu.
Izu, yeah, that Izu's delivery is very deadpan and a lot, but I don't know if the artist knows that, because she's very expressive in this.
Yeah,
And
she
you were
is
talking
like
about how the fact that her like deadpanness doesn't come across, and I have to agree.
yeah, like I mean, like there's a difference between like deadpan and Spock. like it's like she's overly logical, and it just seems very like it just seems off. Like just every like just rereading through this, it just feels off. Like I'm still gonna support it because I'm like, oh cool, I want more 01, but hopefully like it'll be more accurate. Oh, also
Yeah,
I just realized that is Shining Hopper, I think. Not in Yeah, I think that is Shining Hopper in the preview for the no it's not. No, it's not. I'm wrong. I thought I was seeing the Shining Hopper progress form. But
gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha.
but yeah,
No, I
the
will say,
zero one thing.
in my opinion at least, like the art's still really good. The
It
artist is
is.
doing a fantastic job, and
Mm.
I'm getting this basically solely on the art right now, because drawing very good. Really enjoy
Mhm.
it. The
Yeah, it
suit
is very
looks
expressive.
great. The suit looks great. The antagonist, even though again he hasn't done, like, I don't know enough about this antagonist dude for me to like care about him. He looks awesome.
hmm
Uh,
Um, that little scene though, where he's actually like doing the obstacle course, was really cool. With like the kind of like the great like the less less saturated like what he was doing. Also, I don't think this is something that Arto would do ever. Like, I don't think he would ever do anything this physical.
sure, yeah, yeah. It
But
was,
it was
yeah,
it was cool.
it was cool. Now, getting on to something that we cannot shut up about.
Yeah.
Inferno Girl
Yes.
Red finally out.
Yeah.
This first book, first of all, it was longer than the average issue, and I think they
Mhm.
basically said at the end that like they're making the issues basically like as long or short as they want them to be, instead of following a traditional format, so they can pace
Mhm.
them exactly right, and I love them for that.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so good.
Like,
Talking about art, especially like the color work in this is great. You can feel
mhm.
the atmosphere coming from like every panel that switches from like some really melancholy blue to some bright reds to just some like earth tones whenever not much is going on and they're like at a school.
Yeah,
Love the color
every
work.
yeah, everything is toned very very nicely. Like
Yep.
I'm enjoying this a lot. Like, it basically starts off with like, there's like a little bit of conflict. Like, it starts off with like, her and her mom basically like, never being believed for like seeing this supposed Infernal Girl Red. Them going Her going to a school and like realizing what kind of a life it is. And honestly, like Cassia being the whole like, we never had anything, so it feels so weird to actually like, have something. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it
like,
is.
wow,
It's very
it's
cool. I also just like, man, the stuff with her mom at the beginning is so sad. The fact that she gets getting passed off for her jobs because her articles about Inferno Girl Red, it basically means everyone thinks she's like a crackpot or someone who writes just like stories or whatever, and it's like we're
yeah.
real reporters. The main conflict of this first one has come with, it seems like basically their entire city has been like warped into space.
Yeah, that like that was cool. Like, I'm like, oh wow, they actually just straight up show that. And then You know, she gets some strange bracelet.
that crashes
like
through like the window. That's really cool. I really love when like the item quote unquote just finds you. It reminds you a little bit of like Ben 10 just finding the meteor. It
yeah.
reminds me of there's a cute webcomic about boxing that I like called Star Impact. Basically it's boxing. All the boxing gloves have superpowers like effects. And one of them definitely does this, like crashes through someone's window.
What's also really funny about this too is that she is so like, you know, actually no, I'll get to it at the end. I'll get to it at the end because I was going to talk about Supermassive, but we'll
Yeah.
get to that at the end.
Yep.
But
and then basically she meets up with her mom, who recognizes the thing on her wrist. Her
and it's
roommate.
excited.
Yeah.
So she's so excited for her to have it. It's like, okay, here. Okay, we need to do this. I need you to go help them. Wait, what do you mean? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I will tell you what to do.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, I need you to do this.
Yep.
Like,
And she tells her like the transformation phase, the pose, and everything. And the thing that got me, that I told you, this activated my brain when this happened in the comic. She has like a transformation jingle. Like she transforms.
Yeah.
And on the thing, the burning light of hope in the dark, Inferno Girl Red. That was
But
literally like a jingle. It was so cool.
Yeah, like the crazy thing too though is that like you have to turn the page to see it. Like it's at like you see her do Inferno Ignite. It takes up a full page. It's a full page of her just saying that, and then you turn the page,
Yeah,
and then
so good.
It's paced so
the formatting they're doing for this is amazing. It reminds me when they did the supermassive crossover comic where the Henshin pose is like a page that you have to like fold out.
Yeah,
and it's super wide. Like the way they're like formatting everything is great. She beats the monster. Everyone's like, great. She flies off. Again, I love that she's got like cape wings, something.
Yeah. Yeah, the best part is that it's like, wait. My mom told me stories. She could fly, right? She could fly. I can fly. And it's so good because they set up that her mom has been telling her stories for so long that she's basically just fighting based on the memory of what her mom has told her in stories.
Yep.
Like, it's so good.
The setup is so good. She has a really cool like de-transformation scene. And her mom's like, oh my god, it's an incredible start. And then she's like, no, you need to help me figure out how to get this bracelet removed so this never happens again. And such a good first issue. I really love the beginning of this story. Just like, it's a one super solid first issue. The fact that like her mom has been telling her these stories about Inferno Girl Red, but also that like she keeps getting stuff wrong, that she just like keeps forgetting, is, first of all, it's a nice touch because she's like, oh, maybe I'm not delivering the line right or whatever. Part of me is thinking like, oh, is it possible that she's been like telling people these stories and actually she used to be Inferno Girl, right? Kind of like a Peter Parker Spider-Man situation when she was like reporting on herself.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like super likely, but also I do like seeing that the original Inferno Girl Red had like a different colored suit, like she had her own thing going on.
Yeah, and it was like a white suit and red
like accents.
Highlights.
Yeah,
accents. That's the word I was looking for.
And then then the new one has like the black suit with the black accents, and it makes me think that if it's a suit that she thinks about, this is her mom's memory and she remembers her as having a white suit, but maybe just because whenever you hear descriptions of stuff that you don't like have like a full description, you imagine it yourself, so maybe this is what she thought the suit looked like.
Yeah, man, but this is so good. And like, talking about Supermassive, it's really funny because in Supermassive, she looks like she's been doing this for a while. So it's like, is this before Supermassive? I'm assuming.
I think so, because this is like the origin, right? So
yeah, it's so good. Oh man, I cannot wait for more.
Yep. And the next issue looks awesome. With some cool looking covers from what I've seen. But Don Brothers, we gotta go. We've been talking a lot. And our time is counting down. Don Brothers this week.
It's gonna be like last week. We don't know what's gonna happen anymore. Like, we can almost speed through this because nothing we say can nothing we say will either nothing we say will happen, and nothing will say we say they will throw another wrench and just do weird stuff because it's Don Brothers. I love it.
It's true. We did get confirmation that the one who showed up as the King Ojir mech was Haro transform.
Yeah,
which was good. We get to see Inuzuka confront Jiro on the having fake friends thing, but like, bro, Inuzuka just looks like he feels so bad. Like he just believes it. He's like, beat my girlfriend Ruri, and he looks and he's just like, hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's like he tried.
He really tried. Going back to the bestial forest, seeing Taro get devoured, quote unquote, was intense.
Yeah, like it was also really funny too because if I remember correctly, he just spits out the oh wait, no, that's later on where he just spits out the
crane, yeah,
the penguin, yeah, and the way that he's just demanding, like, say, hey, you take my form already, do it. it's like he's still commanding no matter what. It's so funny.
Yep,
and then really like
then we get to see the Cerebrans have been kicked out, and they've run to the Dawn Brothers to be allies. And my favorite part about this is Zenkaiger Black being like, money also works for Sensei.
So good.
Though maybe not as good as Sononi being like, wait, can you teach me about haiku? And he almost falls for it.
Yeah, it's so funny. But man, it was so funny because like you see Saru like basically lower Kaito's hand, like please no talk of money. It's so funny. I love it so much. Oh man.
Yep.
And then like people like the they just like me for real like wait, what about the money that we got from the what about the money we got from the Cerebrands?
And it's like, we spent it on manga, beauty salons, and food.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like relatable. It's so relatable. It's so great.
It's very good. I really like that it's just become a whole thing that they've become like not even antagonists anymore. They're just actually trying to join them. Yeah, Jiro doesn't understand why anything's happening, and
we use the manga again to talk about full moons.
Yep, Natsumi sees that he turned into a bestial, and then he fucking slaps Taro, and he remembers.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. And then we get that, and then Jiro gets broken because like his father figure like just basically said everyone was fake. This entire town is fake. We're the only ones that live here.
I've been making illusions this entire time, and it's really sad. We don't get to it till the end, but when we see his friends fade away as his father figure, finally passes away, and they all fade away, and he's just like crying on the floor, bro. That hurt.
Yeah.
That really
I actually felt bad for Jiro because like Jiro just wants to be accepted, and like it basically makes all of us making fun of him for being the odd man out. It actually kind of hurts. I feel kind of bad now for being that mean about it.
I feel kind of bad, and it turned something that I thought was just kind of like a little off-color joke, that the fact that his friends all were like, oh, these are like the manga stereotypes, like we basically he's got like the old school manga like best friends, kind of Goonies trope of kids, where it's like, oh, the smart one, the kind of stupid but funny one, the big guy, and then like the girl. And it's like, oh, they probably were those stereotypes because it was a bestial who made them, so he was probably just going off the first thing he could think of for like friends.
Yeah, like, oh man,
and it hurts.
It really hurts. And then we get to like pretty much the climax where like everything in the forest happens.
Yep.
And Taro, a lot happens in that forest. Like we get our helmetless scene where Taro like basically just yells at all the bestials, "Hey, stop."
Yeah.
Stop or else.
Stop or else. I really like the fact that the way to get into the forest is to go through the moon that is reflected in like the water.
Yeah, that was clever.
That was nice. Good touch. The Dawn Brothers and the other people fight in the forest. He tells them that like, hey, the bestials have committed no sin by existing, but by, killing humans and stuff and taking their lives away. Basically, like, that is a sin, so I will punish you for that.
Yeah, and then we see the ring of forgiveness, and then like releasing everyone from like that death prison essentially.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you get this, and then you see Natsumi basically get surrounded and killed. Like, some of them could be killed because
Hmm.
their other forms have been released and stuff. The thing that got me is we finally get all of the Cerebrand, all of the Dawn brothers team up, and they do the special attack against the new three Cerebrands, and they basically
Hmm.
just like shrug it off.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, that
was
was.
it was seeing it, and then you get to see the light feature, and it's like, weaklings try so hard, huh? Until next time.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then Inuzuka and Natsumi finally get reunited for real now, which
yep,
is nice.
which is nice. But then you see the quote unquote bestial Natsumi off, like, not dead, like, back into the forest because she's gone back through the moon, and then the funniest preview I think
I
I've ever seen. A
I
first
don't even know
ever,
what to,
a final battle with diplomacy.
I don't even know. Like, what
They're
the
holding
hell?
they're holding a peace conference.
They are. Like, they have the flags and everything. Kaido's in the middle. They have their little. They have their name pyramids there.
They're holding a summit, the Dawn Cerebro summit.
It's
They're just,
so ridiculous.
and I mean, at some point they end up fighting, which of course, but like, regardless, the fact that they're like, this is how we're doing it. We're doing a peace summit for the that'll be episode 47. So for the, like, second to last episode.
I just
Damn.
I don't even know. It's like it's so ridiculous. I love this.
No, it you know
And you know what's great? We're finally seeing Taro's dad again, because I believe he's been freed from the jail as well too.
it
So
seems like he
we'll
was
see what
at
happens.
it seems like he was at the conference, which is good. I didn't like that Taro's dad was just in jail. When I first saw the Dawn Brothers opening, like, before having any context, I always assumed that was like the big bad guy. That it was going to be kind of like the reverse, where it's like the sealed bad guy trying to free himself or whatever. And then it turns
Mhm.
out it's just a dude who was really nice to a child he found.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Like I said, I don't even know where to even begin with this show or end with this show. They're just gonna throw stuff. I'm enjoying it at the same time. Like, they solved so many things. What I'm at the same time is like, man, now that 4, 5, and 6 are out, it's like, what do we even do from here? And it's like, oh my god, it's ridiculous.
yep, yep. It is a lot. But with that, our time is winding down. Thank you for joining us as always on Half Hour Henshin. The sticker designs for this month's Patreon are being finished up and they're being submitted tomorrow. So the stickers will go out relatively soon. The sticker for next month, February, is going to be Don Momotaro, since it's going to be like the last month while the show's actually airing. I want to get one of at least his stuff done beforehand.
Hmm. Oh man,
Uh,
yeah.
so thank you so much for our patron supporters, and thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Later.
This program is brought to you by.
Our unending love of tokusatsu,
If you enjoyed the show, please be sure to like and subscribe.
and hit the bell for notifications. And if you would like to support us further, consider becoming a patron at our Patreon, Half Hour Henshin.
You can get some exclusive benefits, such as your name in the credits and joining our sticker club. Or if you want to help with a one-time donation,
You can also find us at Ko-fi at Half Hour Henshin. You can email us with any questions or theories at halfhourhenshin@gmail.com or on Twitter at halfhourhenshin.